What is a data package? A data package from our perspective is an assemblage of science metadata, in this case the EML, and one or more science data objects, which could be, say, a comma-separated value table or a Landsat image, for example. PASTA data packages include a quality report. Those reports are generated as a side effect of the quality evaluation process, but those are also included in the data package. And we also have something called a resource map, which is in essence a manifest of what consists in that data package itself. So those are those two extra components there. And it's those four components that form what we call the data package in PASTA. So as a user, if you're contributing to the repository itself, you're only responsible for the science metadata and the science data. You don't have to worry about that quality report or the resource map itself. So it makes it quite easy to contribute to the environmental data repository. We have a unique package identifying system. That example right here is what we would see in a typical data package identifier. That identifier is broken into three components. The scope component itself, it's simply a string value. The identifier is an integer value, and this is kind of the accession number, if you would, in some of the other data repositories that you may be familiar with. And then finally, that last part of the identifier is the revision value, and it also is an integer value in increasing order, and that revision value identifies the version of that particular data package. The only thing unique about this revision value is that it must be in increasing order, so subsequent revisions or versions must have a higher value for that integer value from previous values. But the first step in uploading or publishing data is that you have to log on using your user ID. Currently, there's no simple way to create new IDs because we want a lot of control over who's uploading content into PASTA. We're not restricting the user IDs, but you do have to ask for a user ID explicitly. The second step is that you reserve your data package identifier. We have a reservation mechanism. And this is not technically required, but it just makes it a lot easier so that you avoid namespace collisions, so that you don't reuse an identifier that somebody already is using. Step 3, we recommend, and we highly recommend, that if you're working with sort of a new data package, if you're writing new EML and you're not certain of your data objects and things like that, we really recommend that you evaluate your data packages before you try to upload the data packages. In fact, we do this so much, we provide basically a replica system called our staging system, where we recommend that if you're doing something really cutting edge on your side, that you use our staging environment to actually evaluate and upload your data packages so you can see how they look, and if they stick and you like them, then you can actually put them into the production system, which is basically this last step here. You upload your data package and publish it in our production environment. So let me go through a couple of screen captures for each one of these 4 steps. So the user login, it's again straightforward. We have in our header on our data portal, and this is basically both portals support this time, but this is all from the EDI data portal. So there's a login button here, so you click on the login, it gives you the typical login prompt. So there's a form field for your username and your password, and there's 2 affiliations right now, so there's EDI or LTER, and once you log in, then you'll see the typical welcome back M. Servilla right there, and you'll see that on the home page. Actually, on all the pages, you'll see who is currently logged into the system. So after you log into the system, you'd want to reserve a data package identifier. There's a tools menu, and to access, you can actually see the menu, I believe, but if you try to access any of these tools and you're not logged in, you'll see an error message. But in here, step 1, you want to go to the reservation section. And once you get to the reservation section, it'll show this particular page. And you can select how many reservations, how many package identifiers you want to reserve. And I'll just leave this as 1. I think Dwayne could correct me or somebody, but I think 10 is the max right now. But let's just go with 1. And once you select that and you reserve that identifier, you get a message back that says your identifier has successfully been reserved. It gives you the complete distinguished name of who did that, and it tells you exactly what scope and identifier value you have just reserved. Now, you don't get to pick these. This picks them automatically for you, so it's basically filling holes and gaps, or what values are available. But you want to remember those. Also, from this page, you'll be able to see all the reservations that you have, so you can see which ones you can use as you go forward. The next step is you want to evaluate your data package. Again, at the Tools menu, there's an Evaluate Upload Data Package tool. You select that, and here what you're going to do is typical upload form. You choose your EML metadata file. In this case, I've named it, the file name is edi.98.1. It's the XML EML file itself. There's a little bit of a variance here, which is fairly new. I guess it's not all that new, but so in history, when we first started out, we pretty much assumed that most of the LTER sites had their own web servers where they could stage their data. But we also recognize that some researchers may want to just upload directly from their desktop. And what this one checkbox does is it allows us to actually manually upload the data from your desktop system directly into this portal, and let the portal act as a staging environment for your data. And so what I would do then is I would check that box at step 3, and then don't select upload, but select evaluate. And the next step in this processing will be that it would bring up an extra form window that allows you to bind the data file that exists on your computing desktop to the entity name within your EML document. And once you do that, you can select evaluate, and then the evaluation process will proceed. What actually happens at this time is both the EML is uploaded to Pasta. In this particular case, the data file is sitting on the portal server in the staging environment. It's just cached there temporarily. And then the evaluation process takes place. And what you'll see is the output from that evaluation. You can see that there's a report if you wanted to look at the detailed report, but the summary of this evaluation, in this first example, I have 1 warning and 2 errors. And this would actually prevent that upload or publishing from occurring because of those 2 errors. Now, the warning, again, will not stop the publication process. It's just informational at that point. But what I need to do, or as a user, you would need to look at the report to determine what the errors were, and then correct those errors, and then reevaluate that going through that same process. And after I fix those 2 errors and I fix that warning, you'll see that we had 0 warnings and 0 errors, which means we're basically good to go. And you can see right here, it says that it was evaluated. Once that occurs and you're happy and you know everything's going to work, then I would recommend that you go through this very similar process to upload and publish your data package. So right here, you can see again, you select the Evaluate Upload Data Package, you choose the EML document, select the manual upload, and then instead of selecting Evaluate, you literally select Upload. You again bind the local data the desktop data file to the entity name within the EML, and then you select Upload. And then finally, you get this evaluation upload result summary. And again, it says now uploaded, yes. Again, the 0 warnings and 0 errors. You can now go to the portal and to Pasta and look at the landing page for the object that you just uploaded, the data package you uploaded. Here's the EDI98.1 package identifier, and you can see that it is in the system and everything looks good. Yay, success.